Tip top trippers, my name is Donato and welcome back to my channel, where in this video I'll be doing an annual review of 2022. But it's not just about me. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below as I go through my year of this year, and it's been full of lots of ups and downs, just like life. Life is full of ups and downs. I know, very philosophical, isn't that? Leave in the comments below how your year has been this year. And also, as you go through, from now, I'm going to be going through from January all the way through to December. Today is Tuesday, December the 27th, when this is recorded, just for the record. The year of December, the whole year hasn't gone just yet, but we're nearly there. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below how your year has been, and also what your take is from my review from January through to December, through the ups and downs. And before I go into that, yes, you know, thumbs up, subscribe and hit that alarm bell so you don't miss any future videos, because in 2023 it's going to be a smashing year. I know it is, for you and for me. So without further ado, let's crack on to the annual review. Did you like that? There was a bit of a rhyming there. Without further ado, let's go to the annual review. January kicked off, yes, and I wasn't feeling too good. Not good at all. If you go back to the early videos where I had in January, I still hadn't fully recovered from bugs, COVID. I wasn't well at all in the October of 2021, where I'd done the Yorkshire Marathon and London Marathon within a couple of weeks of each other. I think that really drained me. I then had COVID and I wasn't well at all, with zero running in that month of October. But this is the review of 2022. January, I still hadn't fully recovered. I still had this lingering cough and all sorts going on. But the month, I'd recorded an incredible, it was my record month of mileage, or kilometerage. Is that a word? Kilometerage? Yes, kilometerage, because I am European. If you know, my parents are Italian whilst I'm born here in the UK, and I speak with an eloquently delightful English accent. No. Anyway, yes, I speak with my own accent, whatever it is. Hopefully you can all understand me. Maybe even YouTube's put some subtitles for me, because do I need to be subtitled? But yeah, massive kilometerage of the year, and it was the biggest mileage kilometerage, where I had completed 473 kilometers. Yes, all of it, virtually all of it, was easy peasy easy, just building the base ready for, because my target race was Manchester Marathon in April. Yes, we come on to February, where in this month I'd completed a kilometerage of 355 kilometers. So still easy, but I started to put in a bit more pace. And for those of you who are going to be following my London Marathon 2023, I'll go through the 4 phases that we follow in training, because I was following that. I won't tell you what I've been doing in terms of this year, because I'm still working it out and get the old technicalities out for you all. Lots of kilometerage and a few marathon pace runs in there. So the long runs were getting a bit longer, and I was throwing in a bit of marathon pace towards the end. That was February. Then we come to March. First race of the year, first race of note, which was the Cambridge Half Marathon. But in terms of kilometerage for the month of March, that was a whopping 367 kilometers. Yeah, I know. So I was picking up pace, and Cambridge was my first landmark race of the year, where maybe I've worked out how to reverse aging, because in that race I ran a lifetime personal best half marathon time of 1 hour 23 and 46 seconds. I nearly took a whole 2 minutes off of my half marathon record of a couple of years before. Yeah, that's how much quicker I was. So the training was really paying off and working. So whatever I'd had back in January and towards the end of the previous year, last year, it's beginning to clear, and I'm getting my fitness right up. So you could really see now the picture becoming clearer, that sub 3 marathon at Manchester Marathon was on, but it was also an England Masters qualifying race as well, where I needed to come in the top 3 of that race of England qualifiers to get my Marathon Masters place. The key for March was lots of easy mileys, and for me, whilst I was working on a flexible 10-day type plan, so I'd had various types of runs to be done, and I would position them how I'd felt, and sometimes I'd juggle them as I went along. But the key one is I would have a form of session, semi-speed stuff, not too fast, not too harsh, about every 5 days. And that was for me, bearing in mind my age. For those of you who are new, yeah, I'm 61, so I'm no spring chicken anymore. So doing 2 or 3 sessions per week, no, not for me. So that was March. Epic, epic month. Now we come on to April. The kilometrage for April was 241 kilometers, a lot less than the previous month because it's marathon race month. Yes, Manchester Marathon, my A goal race, qualifier for England Masters potential, and I really had to get my A game ready for that marathon in Manchester. First time I ever ran Manchester. I'd been there many times as a spectator. I'd filmed it a couple of times. You would have seen on my previous YouTube videos of previous years, but it's the first time I ever got to race it, and it's absolutely brilliant race. So well organised, it was amazing, amazing. That was the 3rd of April, the race, but sadly, what I forgot to mention in March is I picked up a niggle. Yeah, after all that training, literally 2 weeks before, or about 10 days before Manchester, on that one session, I picked up something, one of my muscles had gone cold, and then it sort of semi-pulled around my glute, and it got tight. Yeah, so sadly, Manchester Marathon, I couldn't go all out and race out as hard as I wanted to. But I did run a very calculated, steady pace, slow at the start, picked it up and then held it. Yes, I slowed towards the end, but managed to finish in a time of 3 hours, 6 minutes and 36 seconds, literally 30 seconds off my lifetime best that I'd done in Chicago back in 2018. Yeah, that's 4 years previously. So my fitness had gone right back up and was up there. And I really truly believe if I hadn't picked up that niggle injury, whether I would have gone sub 3 is another question, but I certainly would have got a lifetime personal best. But the brilliant news is I got my England Marathon Masters place. Yeah! And here is the shirt. Yes, England Marathon Masters. That's me. Yes, I qualified on that in Manchester Marathon. Yes, I was surprised because I thought in that time, but it's how we race on the day. Yeah, and where everybody's positioned and so on and so forth. So I was really happy with that. That would have been the second time that I've qualified as an England Masters. So the previous time, I won't go through that because it's the review of 2022, yeah, not of previous England Masters places. So I recovered, followed through in April. It was all about recovery, yeah, because I'd done my A race, qualified for England Masters, goal achieved. Yes, whilst it may not have been a lifetime personal best by 30 seconds, as far as I'm concerned, it counts as a lifetime best for me. Then we come to May and there was lots of firsts and we're starting to pick it up where the kilometrage during May was 357 kilometres. And also it's the first time I went running on the Malvern Hills with my new trail shoes where I ran around 20 kilometres. It was about 2 hours. Really enjoyed that. Produced a video to show it to you guys. And it was great running amongst those hills. Most of my training, and this may come as a shock to some of you guys, I don't do hill training, hill reps or anything like that. So running along the Malvern Hills was new for me. So yes, it was a bit of a challenge, but I don't do hill reps and that type of training or strength running. It's mainly on the flats, canals, riversides and so on. But also in May, I had 2 races. Now, whilst these weren't my A races by any stretch of the imagination, I'd literally just entered them that month in May. So it was the Tewkesbury Half Marathon and the Bognor 10K, but they were within 1 week of each other. Tewkesbury Half Marathon, I ran it in a time of 1 hour 29 minutes and got an age group win in that. And then a week later, I ran the Bognor 10K and just came in sub 20. Ooh, that would have been good, wouldn't it? Sub 40, where it was, I think, 39 minutes and 58 seconds. And it was a really hot day, but I didn't feel good at all in both of those races. I felt quite drained in Tewkesbury Half Marathon. I don't know why, what was going on, whether I hadn't fully recovered from the marathon. But the Bognor 10K, whilst it was a very, very hot sunny day, I just couldn't push any pace. So again, I hadn't recovered from the half marathon the week before. So lessons I'd learnt is if I'm looking to race hard, which I was looking to do, having a half marathon and a 10K within a week of each other is not a good idea. No. So for me, yeah, it might be for you, but not for me. Yeah, and it's the same way where we can do a fast parkrun 5K a week before. That's fine, but once you start stepping into the 10K half marathon distances and beyond, 100% marathon distance, if you're looking to race, you know, can you race hard a marathon within 7 days or consecutive days? Can you really? And also not forgetting in May, where on the 7th, 14th and 28th of May, I done the 3 shoes challenge where I was looking to see how fast I could run with the 3 different shoes. So I had the Under Armour Speed, whatever it was called, which went straight back. They were good, and I ran them all within about 10 seconds of each other, 10-15 seconds. The Adidas Adizero, and obviously the Primark as well, the £9 Primark shoes. And the fastest of them all, which was at the very end, was the Primark shoes. So again, lesson learnt there. Do the shoes really impact that much in terms of the speed that we run? Or was I getting quicker as I was getting a bit more race smart, as we say? So we now come to June. We're coming into halfway through the year, and the kilometrage in this month was 323 kilometers. I did have the Leamington Spa half marathon in this month, and that went a bit better than the Tewkesbury half marathon. Again, winning my age group, where I came in a time of 1 hour 26 minutes, so quicker than Tewkesbury, but I felt a lot better. Whilst the course I found at Leamington much more challenging than at Tewkesbury, I was beginning to feel better. I was obviously recovering, my guess is, yeah. But again, another age group win. Felt fantastic. I haven't received the trophy yet. Apparently I won a trophy, but I haven't got it yet. But anyway, that was magnificent. So yes, indeed. Now we come to July. This was crunch month. So yes, July was quite a momentous month, right? Only 44 kilometers, and we all know why. Yeah. Whilst on the 2nd of July, I ran the Birmingham Black Country half marathon and came in a time of 1 hour 29, which was fantastic. Won the age group again, which was brilliant. But on the 6th of July, I went to have my gallbladder removed. So that was fantastic. It was great to finally have it removed because I had a gallstone. It needed to be done. I've been waiting for this operation since before the pandemic. So it's good to have it taken out. But as those of you who've been through operation or whatever, that took me out for a whole 5 weeks of zero running. Whilst I was out walking, and unfortunately I ended up in accident and emergency on the Monday after the surgery, where I needed to, I needed some further things going on down there, shall we say, and that reduced me even more from my walking, where it was reduced to maybe not even a mile a day. But I was persistent through that. And whilst all the stuff that was going on down there was taken out about 8-9 days later, I was able to get a bit more mobility. As I say, I don't go into those details because I'm not an oversharing type of social media person. I know some people want to share everything and show it all on there. Fine, if that's what they want to do. But for me, no, I like to keep some things private. That's just me. That's how we work. So yeah, I'll share the stuff on here, good, bad, or indifferent. But in terms of going into detail, you don't need that gory detail, really, do you? But the great news was having that rest was maybe a blessing in disguise. August comes, and then all of a sudden, from 44 kilometers in July to 349 kilometers in August. So I went quickly up, and I progressed. Once I'd had the 5 weeks off, you would have seen that I'd done some training at the race course on the steps just to see that my movements was working. So I just went up and down the steps. That worked, and then the following day I literally progressed from, it was a run walk progression in terms of these distances. So I went from 5 kilometers to 7 kilometers, 10 kilometers, and then felt good to keep running at those distances. But the first one, certainly the first 5k, was like a run walk based on feel. I wasn't measuring, oh, let's run 1 kilometers and keep pushing through the pain. Basically, if I was feeling anything going on down there, I would then stop and continue and walk along, and once it was feeling okay, I would then start running again, but all very, very slow running, not at any pace or anything. It didn't really matter. Yes, I have my Garmin, always run with my Garmin. Yes, the Garmin is under there. Yeah, look, it's there. So yeah, it's, whilst I have my Garmin, I wasn't tracking the pace or whatever, but the distances really picked up. So literally, pun intended, the race was on, is could I get to London Marathon, get to the start and be able to start? Because yeah, 5 weeks off, I'd lost 5 weeks of a 12-week training plan. Yeah, what can we do? Nothing. I just continued with what I could do at that time. Which brings us to September, where the kilometerage for September was 336 kilometers. I had the Worcester City Half Marathon, and yeah, something I forgot to mention, in August I did have a couple of park runs where I think on the one at the Redditch Arrow Valley I did drop my camera, or it fell off my chest, but I managed to run a park run in a little over 19 minutes. I think it's 19 minutes 30 seconds, which is a wonderful confidence booster to me, because I didn't want to go into the Worcester City Half Marathon knowing whether I could run at a particular pace or whatever. But Worcester City Half Marathon, I found that a real struggle. Not in terms of heart respiratory, but just the whole mechanics and body and everything. And you would have seen towards the end, I was struggling to, finish. But I did finish, and I did come under, because the goal was to come under 90 minutes, under 1 hour 30. And I did just, involved a sprint for the last sort of 800 meters. But I did do it. It was fantastic to finish that. Again, another age group win, and I won a wonderful Nike top. Really, I should be wearing it, shouldn't I? But anyway, I do love my New York City Marathon top. But one age group again, and that's where my mind was really playing on me now. So I struggled in that half marathon, but it was, the date of that one was the 4th of September, and I was struggling. Yeah, it was a real struggle. So in my brain, I'm sort of thinking, wow, if that was hard to do the half marathon, can I really do that distance again in the London Marathon? And this is where the nerves, anxiety and stress was coming in on me, and having to basically fight a mental battle. Can I get myself ready? Yeah, it was oh so real. So I continued with the training throughout September, and then a week before London Marathon, I ran a park run of 18 minutes and 31 seconds. It was a season best and a new personal best at Worcester Pitchcroft, which was fantastic. But again, using that I say only, it's still a long way, 5 kilometers, but compared to a marathon, it is only 5k, not even a quarter. It's an eighth, less than an eighth of the distance. But that was a great confidence booster. And then in my mind, I then decided, right, because as you may know, I was going to be running it dressed as a hospital patient. That was already planned long before I even knew I was going to be having an operation, that I was going to go for a Guinness World Record. And the idea was to smash that record, the record being 3 hours, 20 minutes and whatever seconds. I knew I needed to beat that, but could I run that? Because with my level of fitness and endurance, whilst I could do the 5k in 18 minutes 31, my endurance was not there. And as I often say on my videos here, and what we're looking to target for London 2023 or any race, is to get to the start of the race fit, healthy, ready to start. So it's better to be 20% undertrained, or I say 80% fit, than 1% overtrained or 101% trained, where you might be injured, niggle or whatever. So it's better to be less than over. Yeah, more is always good, but it's better to that. And that was the position I was in terms of for September, because we now come to October, and this was the race of, for me, the race of the decade. So October, the kilometrage was 241 kilometers, because a lot of rest was involved. Normally I do over 350 kilometers, and that blocks of training, but as you can see, it's a lot less because I'm recovering from London Marathon. So London Marathon came on the 3rd of October. Actually, it was the 2nd of October, wasn't it? Yeah, come on now. Let's check the date. 2nd of October. And the goal for me was to get a Guinness World Record. That was the goal. I wasn't going for sub 3. That was never going to happen because I hadn't done anywhere near the training that was needed. So I don't need to be delusional or anything like that, which unfortunately a number of people are on social media, where, you know, we've got to bring reality back down. Yeah. So for me, it was touch and go whether I could run a 3-hour 20 marathon. But for me, I go with it. I wasn't looking at my watch at all, really, until I got to about halfway. And then, because you could see the clocks as you're going through each mile in London, and you start thinking, actually, this could be on it. It wasn't, as I say, it wasn't till around, what was it, mile 18 or somewhere around, I think I said it in the video, where I felt it's on now. It might have been past the halfway point, so I'd gone over Tower Bridge, and I thought, yeah, I'm a couple of minutes in, so it's still doable, but even though we know that we slow down. But to come in and finish in a new Guinness World Record of 3 hours, 19 minutes, 23 seconds, yeah. So literally I was a massive, I say massive, I'd sprinted that last however many 100 yards. Those of you who've done London Marathon, you know there's a gantry, and once you go under that, you go round the bend onto the mile and you can see the finish. 395 yards, I sprinted like I was possessed, because I could see on my watch that I had like 2 minutes before it clicked to say 3 hours 20, yeah? And then I knew that I probably hadn't got the world record. So I went like I was possessed, and running in that gown, I did nearly fall over a number of times during the marathon because it's quite long, gets caught between the legs. So for those of you who haven't ran in any fancy dress outfits, I know Andy, running with Andy, who ran as an elf on Christmas Day. I think you've realised now, running in fancy dress outfits, yeah, it's quite tough, really. Yeah, it's not as simple as people think. I finished, and I looked at my watch, and it said 3:19. I couldn't see exactly what, I knew I had a world record. And when that guy came up to me and said,
I'm about to tell you that congratulations, you're officially amazing, because you have broken the record.
That's right, you are officially amazing. Oh, man. Even now, I'm just coming up with goosebumps just talking about it, recollecting it with you guys. It's just incredible. So many things still going through my mind. I can't believe that 12 weeks before that, I was in a hospital bed, you know, after general anaesthetic, gallbladder removed, all stitched up and bleeding and bruises and battered. And then 12 weeks later, my whole body recovers, and I was able to complete a marathon. But not only complete a marathon, but do it in a new Guinness World Record. It's just incredible. And the feedback and response from you guys has been amazing. And I know over the past sort of 10 months, there's been over 1,000 of you who've joined our cause here, my cause, whatever the cause is, the train, race, pizza ethos on this channel. It's amazing, yeah, and what an amazing time that was. So whilst I was high as a kite and enjoyed that and celebrate it, and hopefully you guys get to celebrate it as well. So October was just recovery and enjoying that and taking it all in. Amazing, amazing. So we now come to November. The kilometrage for November was 265 kilometers. And as you know, once I'd recovered from London Marathon, that I had a goal of a 10K race in December, where the goal was to get an England Masters place at 10K. So whilst I'd qualified as a marathon master in April at Manchester Marathon, I was looking to qualify at the other end of the spectrum, which was a 10K, much shorter distance, completely different ball game, where I was basically targeting that and training for that. So I'd switched and started using a plan, which you would have seen in the Fast and Furious series where I recorded the last few weeks of that training. But I managed to put in an 8-week training block for that. So basically I'm gone into 10K training. And during that training, I managed to throw in the Droitwich Half Marathon, which I completed in a time of 1 hour 36 minutes. Age group win. I'm very grateful. Thank you for the Amazon prize for that. Really enjoyed that and it was great. And not forgetting that I also had the Bradford Half Marathon, which was at the end of October. So it wasn't technically November, but it was at the very end. And again, I'd ran that in a time of 1 hour 36 as well. You see a bit of a pattern here, and that was an age group win. But both of those half marathons were part of what I call endurance training. And I think it was around 18 kilometers I should have been doing. So I just took it a little bit further, but it was good to run with other people. And it was great meeting some of you guys at the Bradford City Half Marathon and the Droitwich Half Marathon. Enjoyed both of those, but the goal was the 10K at Telford in December. But as part of that goal, I had 2 parkrun speed sessions where I wanted to go all out to see what I could do. And this is where I hit another new landmark for the year, where I ran a parkrun personal best of 18 minutes and 17 seconds. Yes, absolutely incredible, which was, for me, I say, lifetime best, fastest ever. So I knew I was going in the right direction. Never really done any proper 10K training for as long as 8 weeks before. I had done one a few years before, but that was only 4 weeks. And again, different things, different times. But 18 minutes and 17 seconds. The couple of weeks before was around 18 minutes and 30 odd seconds. So I'd taken that amount of time off in just the 2 weeks, but that was great preparation, ready for the Telford 10K in December. So December comes along. We are now in December and it was the Telford 10K. Telford 10K was on the 11th of December, and for those of you who know the weather, the biggest challenge that we had was the cold snap that arrived a week before, was it 2 weeks before, where it was bitterly cold. We had like minus 11 Celsius, which I think is around 13 Fahrenheit for that, my American friends. Really, really cold. And we had snow and all types of stuff. But for me, it was fantastic that the organisers organised it in such a way that it went ahead despite it being 0 and freezing conditions. They gritted the whole course, so we were ready to go. The challenge was for me was I had to drive through a snow blizzard to get there, and psychologically that taken it out of me. And it was a real struggle racing that race, to be honest. Whilst I came in with a new lifetime best 10K of 37 minutes and 48 seconds. I was absolutely, I couldn't do any more. It was a new personal best for me, lifetime personal best, not season best. It was only my second 10K that I've ran this year. The other one being 39 minutes and 58 seconds. So for me, and in completely different conditions, hot sunshine, here we are, freezing conditions, and it snowed quite heavily during the race. But I got it on with the point of view camera on my chest, filmed the whole thing, which you can all enjoy. But absolutely amazing time that was. Yeah, fantastic. So that's it for the year. And out of those 4, apart from marathon where I missed lifetime personal best by 30 seconds, all those other distances, half marathon, 10K, parkrun, 5K. I think some people differentiate between a parkrun and a 5K, but for me, I don't get to race 5Ks. So parkrun is the next best thing. All of those, and it's a parkrun PB as well. Those 3, all lifetime personal bests. So I'm clearly doing something that's reversing the aging process. because apparently as we get older we should be getting slower, but I seem to be getting quicker. How long this can continue for, who knows? Stick along on this channel and you'll be following me through 2023 by giving this a thumbs up, subscribe and hit that alarm bell so you don't miss any future videos, because there's a lot going to be happening in 2023. I've already got my 2 main races booked, ready to go, which is the London Marathon and Berlin Marathon. But as I often do, I'll book some last minute events, races. Who knows, I might put in a cheeky 10k. Yeah, stay tuned for that. But also maybe some 20 milers as preparation for London. And also there'll be some other 10Ks, half marathons. I'm still determined to qualify for England Masters at 10K, because at Telford I came 5th. I was about 80 seconds off the person, well, the 2 people who came first with an equal time. So I know I can do better. I know I can go faster. These guys are specialist 10K racers and I'm stepping down from marathon. So as you may know, when you're racing at a particular distance, to race competitively, it's difficult to do all those distances and be competitive as in top 3 podium place. So I'm getting there, but I need to make that decision. Do I focus on the marathon or do I focus on the 10K or half marathon or park runs? Because I know I really do enjoy my park runs and it's so close to me here. I can just hop down onto Pitchcroft, run round, come back home. It's fantastic. I really do love that. So stay tuned for 2023. I'll be doing another video in terms of predictions for 2023, in terms of the running industry, a bit more of a tongue-in-cheek, bit of fun, humour maybe, or maybe semi-serious. But those are my races for next year. London Marathon, Berlin Marathon. That's the year coming forward for 2023. I hope you found this useful. As I said at the beginning, leave it in the comments below. Any takes that you have from what you may have learned in terms of my experiences that I've gone through this year. But also, let me know if there's any things that you've done in 2022 which you're going to take forward into 2023 as we progress. Because, yeah, I really do believe 2023, it's the time for me to go sub 3. And there's a bit of a rhyme to that, isn't it? Sub 3 in 2023. I'm very much looking forward to seeing some of you guys at London Marathon and in future races in 2023, whether it be London Marathon, Berlin, whatever. I know a number of you have already been in touch. You're going to be at some of those races. Al Morrison, I know we're going to be there. And also Neil running Romani. Follow me along. We're going to have fun together, yeah? Because for me, it's all about the joy of running. And it's all about the train, race, pizza. I do love my pizza. Take care, everybody. Love you all. Bye, bye, bye.
Keep moving, you'll be fine. Good effort. There you go.
Don't smile because you come towards